Anyone who's survived drug or alcohol addiction will tell you, if you don't get help urgently, there can only be one destination: the grave. Western Cape resident Anthony Hall knows this journey all too well. Having been a police detective and a successful businessman, he lost everything he worked hard for, thanks to alcohol. But fortunately for him, he had a second chance in life. In fact, Anthony has dedicated his life to fighting this ruthless killer, which always disguises as a pleasant companion.
My mother threw me out, my father threw me out. I was living on the street. So I hardly ate. When I came here, I looked as thin as a piece of stick.
I was working, so I had the money to buy drugs, but eventually that wasn't enough. I started borrowing from everywhere. I was in debt. I was drowning in debt eventually. I had borrowed from banks, I had borrowed from friends, I had borrowed from my work. And I was really all of a sudden heading towards a brick wall.
Anthony Hall, a motivational speaker whose mission is to fight drug and alcohol abuse. He uses his own painful life experiences and bad choices to help people.
And they want a nice life with you.
Anthony's journey began in the early 80s when he served in the apartheid police force.
When I became a detective in the murder and robbery unit, I was a young boy with men. I was too young to be exposed to these things, these murders, rapes, armed robberies, and I was with experienced men who knew what they were doing. I used to put electric shocks on people in KwaZulu-Natal, and you're standing there, you're participating, you're watching it, you're seeing these people suffer, and it almost made you feel powerful, so powerful that I could torture these people to extract confessions from them.
And only those in the inner circle knew what happened next. After every torture or shooting, a drunken celebration.
Sometimes I used alcohol not because I was down, but I used alcohol on success. The more successful I became, the more I thought that the drink came with it, the gambling came with it, the womanizing was all part of the package.
After 6 years in the police force, he moved to big business. More success, more power.
I got a lucky break, and I became a director of a security director of a well-known retail store, and I thought I'd made it in life.
That's when the drinking and drugging spiraled out of control.
I was given a beautiful BM to drive. I was given a flat, and I had it all. I had everything in my life that I thought was that I'd made it. In that time, I was still drinking, but it was almost that I could control it. But when it came to the point when I was the director of that company and I started drinking in the morning, I couldn't control it anymore.
He finally cracked. First, he lost his job, a painful chapter in his life was about to unfold. From a high-flying businessman to a homeless beach bum.
I knew that the drink put me there, but I had no way of stopping it. I was lost, and I felt cheap. How could this have happened to me? And I would see the beautiful cars or people walking hand in hand on the beach, and I'd say, that's what I used to do. And look at me now, and I was then mixing with the other homeless people on the beach because I was homeless.
Anthony's relatives never stopped looking for him. Eventually, they found him on the streets of Johannesburg. He was now tired of this self-inflicted torture. It was time for change. An uphill battle, but eventually giving up the bottle.
I wanted this so badly enough, and I was prepared to put in the hard work, and I was prepared to go the extra mile with no excuses, that I wanted recovery.
Now, 7 years later, he runs Rael, an organization that helps drug and alcohol addicts. He established the operation the same year he quit alcohol, using money from a small business he started when he left the streets.
We look on the mentality, we work on lifting them up, and we work on making them feel like first-class citizens. They're no longer drug addicts. They're no longer people who are walking the streets. They're now people of integrity. So when they leave here, they take that integrity out with them. It's a daily structured program. The big part of this is routine. We want to get them back into a routine, not the routine that we had when we were drugging, that we would lie in front of the TV, or we'd be drunk in front of the TV. And we want to show them that there's a routine when people who are outside there get up in the morning, go through all these basic things before they get to work. And so when they leave here, they've got a routine. And that we find is integral to the part to this farm, is to have a routine.
The rehab center is on a farm in Worcester. Patients pay to keep it running, but those who don't have money are also welcome.
Here I am 16 months later, loving life, looking forward to everything, and just wanting to grow and do better and help wherever I can.
I want to study, apply at the university and study law, criminology. That's my dream. It's been my dream throughout my drugging, everything.
The biggest reason I do this is that no one has to go down this road. No one has to go. There is hope for people. You don't have to get as far as I got down the road. So just even if you can save one life.
It was a tough and long journey that thoroughly tested this man's character. Anthony has been clean for 7 years now. Coming up, a brave new initiative that fights unemployment head-on.